Yes, we have only 1 minute left to start our meeting.
Yes, Manswa. Eya namhlanje
Yes.
email or
WhatsApp.
okay. Good morning, Chair.
Who is present? Who is there so that I acknowledge them?
Minister is here, Chairperson. DM ke yena udla ngosebenzisa i-iPhone. I don't see that iPhone here today. And then DG ukhona uHeyman.
Are there any other people from the from our entities?
There's Mr. Buchman,
Uvela
Commissioner, land redistribution, Chair.
okay, anyone else?
That's all, Chair. And then there's Miss Sihlangu. I think she's the chief director in Mpumalanga, Miss Sihlangu.
Okay.
And DTG Ndove is here.
Okay.
Ndove is here. Uh,
Good morning, Ben. Clinton here. I've got Diliji Letompa here, Diliji Lupungela. I've got my full team here online today. Thank you.
all right, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello.
Good morning, Chairperson. We
Hi,
can
Good
Chair.
hear
morning,
you,
Chair.
Chair.
Good morning, Chair.
Good morning, honorable members. Am I audible?
Yes, you
Yes,
are,
Chair.
Chair.
Yes, Chair.
Okay. Okay. Good morning, honorable members. Good morning, honorable minister, and good morning, honorable DDG. Honorable DM. Good morning, acting DG and DDGs and the other senior officials of the department. I would just like to welcome you to this meeting of ours, which is actually on visual. I do want also to greet our staff and our support team. We have in front of us, which is being flighted on the screen, our agenda for today. But before we actually get to the approval of the agenda, I would like to hear from the secretary whether there are any apologies that he has received so far.
Good morning, Honorable Chair. Good morning, honorable members. Chairperson, I only had one apology from Honorable Maseko, but I can see she's on the platform, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Honorable members, the agenda is being flighted on the screen. Are there any additions or subtractions? If not, may I identify the hand that would propose the adoption of the agenda? Thank you. My gadget does not
Chairperson.
show hands. Yes, Honorable Adams.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to yourself and also all the members on the platform. I move for the adoption of the agenda as it is. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Honorable Adams. Is there any seconder, honorable members?
Honorable Chair,
I
Honorable
second.
Minitama, his hand
Sorry,
was up, Chair.
who is that?
Honorable Minitama's hand was up, Chair.
Oh, Honorable Ngetama.
Yes, Chair. I second the adoption.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Ngetama. We have one substantial item where the department will be giving us a briefing on the progress made on on issues emanating from our reports and recommendations, especially with regards to our oversight visit to KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. Perhaps before one can proceed, I just would like to formally greet the minister and the deputy minister if they are both on the platform, and hand over to the minister and to the department's team to give us a report. Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson, and greetings to you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Mwango, the Deputy Minister,
Recording in progress.
DM Matabata, honorable members of the committee, Acting Director General Clinton Hyman, and senior officials, and all officials of the department and officials from the Portfolio Committee, good morning. Thank you very much, Chair, for the opportunity to appear before the committee today to provide an update on the implementation of recommendations arising from the committee's oversight visits to KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. At the outset, Chair, I wish to express my appreciation to the committee for its continued oversight of the work of the department. Such oversight strengthens accountability, improves implementation, and assists government in ensuring that interventions on the ground translate into tangible benefits for communities. The recommendations arising from these oversight visits have received careful attention within the department. They have informed our planning, guided our interventions, and reinforced the need to address challenges affecting land reform beneficiaries, labor tenants, communal property institutions, tenure security, and rural development initiatives. The matters before the committee today are varied in nature and complexity. Some relate to governance and institutional challenges within communal property associations. Others concern labor tenants matters, tenure rights, land transfers, beneficiary support, infrastructure interventions, and the work of entities and institutions that support the broader objectives of land reform and rural development. In responding to these recommendations, the department has sought to balance urgency with compliance to legislative and regulatory requirements. In several instances, progress has been achieved through direct interventions, mediation, stakeholder engagement, and administrative action. In other matters, implementation remains dependent on court process, intergovernmental coordination, community consultations, or resolutions of disputes within beneficiary structures. Notwithstanding these challenges, the department remains committed to advancing the recommendation of the committee and to ensuring that communities receive the support and services to which they are entitled. The progress report before the committee reflects both the achievements realized and the areas that require further work. It also outlines the measures being undertaken to address outstanding matters and the timeframes associated with those interventions. Honorable Chair, land reform remains one of the most important instruments available to government to advance social justice, strengthen tenure security, support economic participation, and improve livelihoods in both rural and urban communities. The department remains fully committed to these objectives and to working collaboratively with Parliament to strengthen implementation and improve outcomes. We welcome the committee's guidance, observations, and recommendations as part of this ongoing process of improvement. Honorable Chair, the department has prepared a detailed report on progress made in implementing the recommendations arising from both oversight visits, including challenges encountered, corrective measures undertaken, and planned interventions going forward. With your permission, Chair, I will now invite the Acting Director General, Mr. Clinton Heyman, to take the committee through the presentation. And through you, Chair, over to you, Acting DG. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Minister, and good morning to the honourable members and to you, Chairperson. The presentation that we're going to be serving today will provide a detailed account of the department's progress in implementing the recommendations arising from the Portfolio Committee's oversight visit to KZN and Mpumalanga. The department also welcomes the opportunity to report back on the actions taken since those oversight visits and the progress achieved, the challenges encountered, and interventions currently underway to address the outstanding matters. As the Minister indicated, the recommendations touch on a broad range of issues across the department's mandate, and these include communal property associations, labour tenant matters, tenure security, land transfers, beneficiary support, infrastructure projects, institutional governance, and stakeholder engagement processes. Many of these matters are highly localized, Chairperson, and require continuous engagement with communities, traditional leaders, municipalities, provincial stakeholders, landowners, and beneficiary structures, and in some cases, unfortunately, also courts. As a result, the provincial shared services centres have played a central role in coordinating the implementation and monitoring of progress on the ground. The department is therefore has structured today's briefing to allow the responsible provinces to provide the committee with detailed account of these progress actions against the various recommendations made by the committee. The approach ensures that the members receive a direct report from the officials responsible for implementation and allows for more informed discussion in specific challenges and interventions with each province. Chairperson, while progress has been made in several areas, we also have to already upfront acknowledge that some matters do remain work in progress. In many instances, delays are linked to some form of litigation, internal community disputes, government challenges within beneficiary institutions, or dependencies on external stakeholders. And these matters are being actively managed by the department, and we remain committed to finding sustainable and lawful solutions. The presentations, Chairperson, will outline the actions that we are taking to strengthen governance, improve accountability, and obviously accelerate this implementation and translate the recommendations made by the committee into measurable outcomes on the ground. With your permission, Chairperson, I'm now going to hand over to the Deputy Director General Provincial Operations, Ms. Busisiwe Letompa, who will facilitate and introduce possibly the two provincial shared services heads of KZN and Mpumalanga so that they can start with the progress reports. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Are they still connected with us?
Sorry, Chair, if we've lost DDG Letompa, then we can maybe just start directly with Mpumalanga province.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, Minister, Deputy Minister, and the colleagues, together with all members of the Portfolio Committee. And thank you for the opportunity. Minister, we will start with the presentation from Mpumalanga, which Ms. Hlangu, who's the Chief Director responsible for the province, will be taking us through the updated report. Over to you, Ms. Hlangu, through you, Chairperson. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Hlangu. You have the floor.
My apologies, Chairperson. Apparently, they've got the network problem that side, and now she's trying to use the phone.
Okay.
On the phone. You can start, Mr. Hlangu. I can't connect to both things. I will have to switch the computer and then speak on the phone. Yeah.
They are very bad echoes.
Mrs. Shangu, there's an echo. Can the colleagues please switch one gadget on the other side and start with the presentation because it's bringing the echo, please.
Hmm.
I'm on my phone now. I've switched off the computer. I kindly request that Ralph put the presentation for me because I cannot load on the phone. Can I please check if the presentation is reflecting since I switched on to my phone?
Not yet.
Mr. Tifsibifelo, please help me put the presentation.
Well, I'm afraid there will be no injury time or referee's optional time.
Chair, can I maybe make a suggestion that we then start with KZN while Mpumalanga sorts out the network problems?
Yeah, if KZN is
You
ready, yeah.
Good morning, Chair. I'm fine to start if Ralph can assist me with the presentation, please. Thank you.
Can he be assisted with the presentation to be put on the screen, please? We have a problem of time.
Marangena njani ngibani lo tongichekela ukuthi ngine volume. Eh?
Yeah, we can hear you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, and good morning to honorable members, and good morning, Minister, Deputy Minister, Acting DG, DDGs and colleagues. I do hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are, to me at least.
Yes, someone keeps interfering with this thing and the screen is now off.
It's back now. It is back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the report from KwaZulu-Natal. It covers the various areas, recommendations that were made by the portfolio committee. It will be a quick report because as I will explain as I go along. So on the first page are issues of the Ingonyama Trust Board. I think the acting DG and the minister did cover some of the issues generally, as we probably know that we do have a
issues of conflict between the board and the sole trustee, and there are also issues where the department has appointed a senior counsel to do particular investigations and come up with recommendations to address some of the issues that were raised by the committee and the recommendations that the committee made. So if we go to the first point, which is 9.1. Can we go back? 9.11, which deals with the clarification of the role of the sole trustee versus the chairperson of the Ngonyama Trust. I think these are issues that are under discussion and were noted by the department, and they depend on the agreement to review the legislation that is in place. However, the legislation that is in place makes these roles quite clear. Of course, in terms of implementation and attitude of the actors, there is some, I would say, conflict, especially after the chairperson, the sole trustee, wanted to assume or resume his role in terms of the act as the chairperson of the board. But we are saying the issues are being looked at, and once there is agreement in terms of the review of the legislation, then the issues will be fully addressed. Also by the report that will come from Advocate Moirane, who's doing the investigations and review. The second, 9.1.2, consider introducing mechanisms, legislative or otherwise, that encourages sole trustee to appoint a nominee to chair the ITB in order to promote good governance and parliamentary oversight of the ITB. I think this is covered by the first point also I've made in terms of the recommendations that will come out of the report from senior counsel after he's reviewed all what is in place currently. Can we go to page 2 or slide 2? There's a recommendation on introducing a reporting requirement on the distribution of revenue or benefits to deserving traditional councils or communities, including reporting on the disbursement policy, which includes a 5% allocation for the sole trustee. We are saying this engagement, particularly with the board and His Majesty, can only commence once all the challenges that are there now that are preventing such engagements, once those have been resolved, and then we can commence with those engagements. On 9.2, enhance executive oversight and support over the ITB. Firstly, to gain insight into the underlying challenges confronting the entity and the legislative or policy limitations linked to these. Also analyze the status of the organization and its operations against the existing legislation, and to determine the extent of policy review and other interventions required. Having completed the review, the minister should also report to Parliament with a clear time-bound plan to address the concerns and issues. Again here, this will come out of the report from the senior counsel that has been appointed, and from that report, then the department ministry will be able to formulate recommendations and timelines to address those issues and to implement those recommendations and report to the portfolio committee. Consider reviewing the legislation to strengthen the independence of the board and ability to withstand any undue external influence in relation to the use of the resources and assets for purposes other than those the entity was established for. Again, all is dependent on the outcome of the inquiry and its recommendations that we have spoken about. We can only currently state what is in place, but as soon as the report comes out, then most of these issues will be addressed. I must say that the senior advocate, I am informed, did request extension of time to finalize the report, and I'm sure that the minister will address the issue after I've completed the presentation in terms of how long and when do we expect the final report. Can we go to the next slide? (9.4) is a recommendation to conduct a forensic investigation. That work that is being undertaken by the senior counsel also covers an investigation of all the transactions, including the sale of land. So that again will come out of that report. 9.5, facilitate an engagement between the KZN Provincial House of Traditional Leaders and the ITB in order to iron out differences as well as the perceptions around alleged misconduct, what has been perceived to be a disrespect to the king. Again, we say once we have this comprehensive report, we will be able to address the issue and be able to identify all the necessary stakeholders and have those meetings. I don't know, that presentation has disappeared again.
You may continue because the actual presentation was circulated to honorable members. I would imagine that they would be having copies in their gadgets.
Okay.
So that whilst we are trying to restore the flighting of the report, but you may continue. You can still continue, and we will rely on the copies that were circulated to us.
Thanks, Chair. I'm now on 9.6, which talks to the issue of the CASAC issue. And the recommendation was that the department, together with COCTA, must work out a solution to address the challenges of the PTOs experienced by KZN government and Amakosi, with intention to strengthen tenure security. This is ongoing work that is happening, and the DDG for land tenure will address the issue and talk to the progress that is there currently. But there has been several meetings, and there was a small team that was put in place to look at how this issue can be addressed. Then on 9.5, facilitating an engagement between the KZN Provincial House of Traditional Leaders and the ITB in order to iron out differences as well as perceptions around alleged misconduct or what has been perceived to be disrespect to the king. Again, we take this to the inquiry by the senior counsel, which will guide the department on how to deal with the matter once we have received the recommendations from the report, and then be able to facilitate all the necessary meetings. I think 9.6 is a repetition of the CASAC matter, which I have spoken to. I am now on the issue of communal property associations. I must say that on last week's meeting of the portfolio committee, the registrar of CPAs, who is also present in the meeting, addressed most of the issues that are raised here because they are mainly policy issues. But for completeness, I will quickly run over the issues that are in the report, which I do believe they were addressed. So 9.7 was about the department to consider increasing human resources capacity within the department to focus on CPA support in line with the CPA Amendment Act. There's also a need for reprioritization of the budget to support the implementation of the CPA Amendment Act. Well, the acting registrar is appointed until 31, this is wrong, but the acting registrar is in place. I must say that the department is also looking at the capacity. There is currently a ongoing work of reviewing the structure, and part of the review of the new structure for the department is the capacity for the department, particularly in provinces, to make sure that there is capacity to properly manage CPAs by the Office of the Registrar of CPAs. On 9.8, develop mechanisms to monitor all the CPAs, their operation and their capabilities to comply with the CPA Act and respective constitutions. This is a work that the acting registrar is seized with to make sure that the Act is implemented accordingly. There were draft regulations also that are being worked on and are being finalized. The acting registrar again will talk to this. The final draft regulations incorporating inputs received during the public consultation process have been completed and are currently undergoing the requisite internal processes for submission to the Minister for approval. Yeah, I think the acting registrar will fill in there beyond what we have put on the report. And 9.9, conduct an assessment of all CPAs in KwaZulu-Natal, detailing the state of affairs in each. Where there are conflicts or terms of CPA committees have expired and allegations of maladministration, the minister should also institute litigation to safeguard the assets of communities to ensure that there are fresh, free and fair elections of the new executives. Our response is that we have continuously assessed CPAs in the province, and for the 25-26 financial year, we had planned to regularize 114 CPAs, and we did exceed that target by training 155 executives in governance, financial management, land administration, and institutional management related matters. We just emphasize that Zwelabantu is compliant despite the problem that they have. Compliant in terms of its constitution, and the members were trained. We will be also doing a refresher training as soon as we have finalized the institutionalizing the office of the CPA. The CPA Act does does provide for the safeguarding of the assets of the communities, and we do quote the relevant section, which is section 12, subsection 1. So let me move to the next page. We have just quoted the whole section. I'm sure the members have seen it, but it basically protects all the property of the CPA, that CPA may not, without consent of the majority of members present at a general meeting of members, sell, donate, or encumber criminal land or immovable property of the community, or any real rights in respect thereof, or conclude any transaction, including any prescribed transactions in respect of or purchase or any immovable property without the prior consultation with the minister and without a resolution supported by no less than 60% of the members of the association having the right to make decisions as contemplated in item 8 of the schedule. The import of this provision is that the CPA, particularly the executive, cannot act with impunity, and where such impunity occurs, then the department must intervene to protect the property, whether tangible or intangible, of that CPA. It must always act in consultation and via resolution from members and in consultation with the department or the minister. 9.10. Consider developing a project to produce evaluation report on the functionality and impact of strategic partnerships and mentorship projects in CPAs, assessing amongst others the contracts and agreements and the extent to which they are being implemented. Of foremost importance is the capacity building run by the strategic partner companies and mentors, and the extent to which they empower land reform beneficiaries to manage their agricultural enterprise independently. Our response is that the CPA program underwent a design and implementation evaluation conducted internally by the Directorate Evaluation within the Chief Directorate Monitoring and Evaluation. Report was adopted and approved by the former Director General on 28 Feb 2025. Recommendations from that report are being implemented on an incremental basis, and it addresses the key recommendations mentioned by the committee. 9.11, intervene in the Zwelabantu CPA matter to address all the complaints, including theft of assets, support the executive committee's litigation initiatives in order to ensure that the land of the Zwelabantu CPA is returned. Our response is we have been engaging. I think in the last meeting we reported that the minister engaged with most of the stakeholders that were implicated in the Zwelabantu CPA matter. There's been good progress on the Zwelabantu matter. And what is exciting about it is that most of that progress has been achieved by the CPA on its own, of course, with our support, because we have been quite close to what has been happening. But as it should be with CPAs, that they should be capacitated and be able to manage their own affairs. I must commend the current committee that they've made tremendous progress at taking initiatives on most of the issues that they reported and were a problem with them. But of course, we have been quite close. We have not left them on their own. So on the specific matters, there was the matter of Mark Taylor, who owned the Elon Group, where there was a problem of him not developing the property and not wanting to exit the project. We can report that Mark Taylor has signed an understanding, an agreement with the CPA to relinquish all his rights on that project. He's also relinquished his right to the development rights on this project to develop Blythedale. Then there was the issue of the payments from Selva Trust. In the last meeting, we reported that some payment had been made. What was outstanding was the December payment of 64 million, which was the which was in full and final settlement of what was outstanding. And we can confirm that the 64 million was paid on the 6th of December 2025. I can just say to the committee, I suppose it's not in confidence, but the CPA is still not happy. They believe that their land was worth more and are considering further legal action against the Sokelers for them to return the land, even though these monies have been paid. Maybe the issue will come up again to the committee. So insofar as the money is paid, we are aware that the CPA has distributed some of the money to the beneficiaries or claimants, but they have wisely also kept some of the money and have acquired a lot of farm equipment. They've acquired trucks, they've acquired tractors, they've established a small office. They've done a lot of work with the money. They actually had a general meeting last month, which unfortunately I couldn't attend, but some colleagues attended. And their claimants are very happy with the progress. As a department, we are waiting for their financial statements to confirm that exactly what they did with the money. And although we are happy with what we see, but what matters is what is in black and white. So we'll wait for those financial statements and have an opinion on them. I suppose the acting registrar will have that opinion, not myself. Then there was an issue of the grant that they expect from the department. We are saying that grant was based on the farm Eddington, which according to technically remains with Selwa Trust, because Selwa Trust has paid the monies that they were owing. So the department has, together with a strategic partner, SAFTA, have developed a new business plan for Farm Gilderland now, because that one remains with the CPA, and it has huge agricultural tracts of land for sugarcane. The department will consider assistance in terms of that business plan through our land development support program. On 9.12, we talked to the issues of the criminal and civil cases that were opened by Zwelabantu CPA. And we did report in the last meeting, as we do again, confirm that according to SAPS, all of those cases were closed because some of the witnesses were not willing to cooperate or to come forward with evidence. So they closed those cases unless the new CPA executives register new cases, then those old cases remain closed. Then there was an issue of Inkosi Udube. There is a judgment that the CPA obtained against Inkosi in terms of the land that Inkosi had claimed was either donated or leased to him. But the judgment, the order of the court dismissed that claim of Inkosi and restored the land to the CPA. I am aware that Inkosi is still not happy. I have met with him recently to try and reconcile the two parties. We haven't won on that score. There is still that resistance. We did report in the last meeting that in terms of some of the land where Inkosi had put people or gave sites to private individuals, following the court order, there was a meeting on the 26th of October last year to inform all those that have put up structures, whether commercial or home dwellings, to inform them that there is a court order and they need to be talking to the CPA about moving out or formalizing their existence on the land. There is still a lot of resistance those talks are ongoing. But there is also an interdict to stop all construction of new structures that was obtained, and that seems to hold because new factories or homes have not come up since. The CPA has had follow-up engagements with the illegal occupants in May to outline the expectations and implications of the court order. If this fails, this courtesy fails, then the CPA will have no option but to obtain eviction orders for demolition and impoundment of some of the invaders have built factories and there are truck depots and all of that. So that would be the next step for the CPA. On 9.3, honorable members, and 9.13, sorry, and 9.14, we are simply saying that, unfortunately, as this department, we are unable to take those matters forward because the function for FPSUs and the staff that was assisting us to make them operational were all transferred to the Department of Agriculture. So there's not much we can do with that anymore. On 9.15, on the cotton ginnery in Makatini, we are reporting that we have since appointed the contractor that is doing the civil, mechanical, and electrical work in order to install the machinery. That contractor is on site. The construction progress is about 20%. We anticipate that the construction and installation of the machinery should be completed by 30 March next year. We estimate the cost of the actual construction to be at 51.3 million, and the total project value, including the machinery, the ginnery machine, will be at 129 million. And 9.16, the recommendation was for ADA, which is an agency of the Provincial Department of Agriculture, to collaborate with producers to address the water challenges, invest in infrastructure, and address the water reading and billing system. We are aware that there is ongoing work on that with the Provincial Department of Agriculture. We are no longer too close to the process because we no longer have the staff to do it. But from the rural infrastructure perspective, we still do interact from time to time with the process, although it is no longer our responsibility. I'm sure the chair will also know that the issue of marketing is long, and other members, honorable members and colleagues, the issue of marketing has been long in the pipeline, and it's always ongoing, and various departments are working on it. Perhaps what we could do is to suggest that ADA be invited by the portfolio committee to report on the matter, or even the provincial department be invited to report on the matter if that is appropriate. Honorable Chair, members and Minister, that is the end of our presentation from KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much.
DG, are we ready to receive the Or is the Mpumalanga province ready to give us their report?
I believe they should be ready now, Chair. Sidi Zanele, are you ready?
Yes, CG, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I requested that the presentation be flagged for me because I have moved into a phone. I am otherwise ready to present. I've printed the documents in front of me. Let me start by greeting the Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Minister, and all the honorable members of the committee, acting DG, DDGs, and the colleagues that are on the line. I apologize for what just happened in the morning. I will start the presentation basing it on the recommendations that the committee came with in their report that they tabled. That is sitting on number 6 in their report. In this report, there are 18 recommendations that are there. The first one will be the action plan that I will start with. You can move to the second slide in the meantime. Whilst I'm giving this background that I'm giving, we have the action plan. We will present the action plan and the progress on it. 6.2, it's increasing of human resource capacity of the department in the CPA function, which is national office, and I believe they will come through on that. And also the development of the mechanisms to monitor CPAs. It's a responsibility for head office, the conducting of a full survey of CPAs across the country. Again, it's the head office review the structure of CPA's annual report. It is the head office. We are going to respond to 6.6, which is talking directly to the issues of Mpumalanga. 6.7, the 6.8 is CLCC that is responsible. The entire labor tenants is political issues, including the rural development. We are going to deal with 6.12 in that as I go to the report. And the land acquisition, we're going to deal with 6.14 and again 6.17. I will start with the action plan and indicate how far we have moved in terms of its implementation in the province, because there were specific projects that were visited and there were specific actions that we needed to implement on that. The first one is the Mawewe CPA, the Communal Property Association. In the report, we tried to indicate what we had done until May 2025 when we sent the report, and we then updated progress to date where we are. I will try and refresh the members so that we are all on board. What we had done here in this CPA is that we had issues that were relating to the joint venture, if members will remember, that were in Matsamo, that were paying money into the account of the CPA. And then it was then directed by the members that we approach courts to close that account so that there's no transaction happening. And we reported last time that we went to court and we tried to initiate that process, but that matter was not dealt with. It was struck off the roll and we couldn't do anything. So what happened thereafter as a department, we then had to engage with the two groups because they are now willing to engage with us, wherein they had then agreed to enter into a mutual agreement wherein we met with them in the registrar where they tabled their agreement that they are now willing to come together and work together. Whilst we were still working on that, we then had an agent application then that was filed by the interim committee. That is what we were dealing with now, that they filed because they felt this issue of this agreement is not moving as they require, they then approach court with an urgent application directing that the court appoint specific individuals that they've listed in their papers to be appointed as interim committee. We defended that matter through an affidavit. The case set yesterday and the judgment was not handed. It will be circulated by the judge because what they are requiring is in contrary to the legislation, the CPA legislation, the amendment that is there. Only the registrar can appoint an interim committee. So we are waiting for that judgment. So we're still in that space with Mawewe. We couldn't move forward with placing the CPA under administration because of all these things that are happening. We'll wait for the judgment, which we believe will be in our favor in terms of us having an interim committee within the CPA committee of Mawewe. That is where we are with Mawewe. I will quickly move to table number 2. If you can move with me, please, Secretariat. Table number 2 is dealing with Matsamo. Thank you very much. Table number 2 is Matsamo. In Matsamo, we had an issue of verification, if members can remember. We had an issue of people that were a concern group that was arguing that they have not been included in the list of the beneficiaries of Matsamo, and it was resolved that the verification be done through the restitution office. The service provider was appointed, but progress to date is that he could not finish the work until their contract lapsed on the 31st of March. So the work is not done. However, what happened subsequent to that, the concerned group then went to court to lodge an application, an urgent application again. It's something that is prevalent now that we are seeing in the province, that a concerned group will go and lodge application to request court to appoint certain individuals to be committees of the CPAs or administrators. So we defended this matter to this one. It was there was a judgment that this matter is dismissed with costs to the concerned group. However, the judge ordered that this matter must be resolved through the CPA going to an elective AGM. We had then meetings with the I have written the judgment in full in the presentation that the judge, in summary, ordered that this matter, the whole matter, can only be resolved by the CPA going to an elective AGM. And the acting registrar then is on board on this issue. There were engagements with the outgoing committee, and then there was the updating of the verification with the leadership of the acting registrar's office, an amendment of the constitution of the CPA. The CPA is currently ready to go to an elective AGM. The initial date that they had set was the 6th of June. However, what is happening now is that the Office of the Registrar is still looking at what is the draft constitution saying if it is aligned with the legislation. So the date for the election is set for the 20th of June. So that is what we are anticipating to see under Matsamo in resolving these issues of their CPA. We can quickly move to table number 3. I'm summarizing. Secretariat, we can move to table number 3. I'm done with Matsamo. Table number 3 is dealing with the issue of the Jabulani village. The Jabulani village, what was issued in the last reporting was that we we needed to construct the road that's leading to the village, and we came back and indicated that that is not, it's a road that is falling under the municipality. We wrote to the municipality to request them, because this project is known to the municipality. In our engagement continually, this project is within their plans. So they have not responded directly to us as to when they will fix that road that is leading to the village. The second issue was the maintenance of the solar infrastructure that we have put there as part of the rural development program, because it's no longer working properly. So what we had proposed from our side as an intervention is that for sustainability, we're going to recruit NARSEC youth from within the community that will take through training so that they come back and be the ones that are responsible to fix and maintain this as a form of job creation. We have successfully done that. 5 NARSEC youth were recruited as part of the previous batch. They are currently undergoing training. They are finishing in August 2026. What we requested the TVET to do is that part of the fees that we are paying is that they will buy them a startup pack that they will use to fix what is broken within the solar units. So as a job creation venture, because we didn't want to come back and then when they come back, we struggle as to when they are going and how they are going to start this work. So we are anticipating that as soon as they are back, and then they will then have the tools for trade and they will start helping the community to do that. This is our job creation venture that we have come up with. The third issue under Jabulani Village that the committee had directed with do is the CPA, its local standing, and also making sure that the land is transferred to the CPA. So we have engaged. I'll just start with the CPA. I'm not reading the notes. I'm presenting all of this is in the notes. We have engaged with the CPA with the purpose of regularizing them. We have updated the beneficiary list. We are seeking now to go to adopt the list so that we can then have an elective conference with them. However, they are fighting now over the timber. It's destructive in a way. We are intervening every time we set a date, we cannot sit. So we have gotten to the state that we really need a mediator on this matter, because we're dealing with a number of people with different interests here. We have failed to deal with that. And regarding the transfer of the land entitled to the Communal Property Association, we have the general plans because the intention is to subdivide the residential areas, separate it from the commercial areas, because there's schools and a community hall, if you can remember, such that all those are now moved, disposed to the relevant departments, and we remain only with the stands where the people are sitting, so that they can have individual title and then have the land that is remaining with the timber owned as a communal property, because it cannot be divided. We subdivided into small plots. We tried that, but we realized that, I will come to that so that you understand why we cannot divide the timber into small plots. But the general plans are there, they are ready. However, we need to finalize the issue of the verification list adoption so that we are able, when we do this
registration of individual title. We register people that are part of the CPA because it is a provision in the CPA constitution of this community that every resident of the area must be a member of the CPA. So we want to adopt the list so that when we do the individual siting or subdivision of the sites and registration thereof, they are adhering to the fact that they are members of the CPA. And that is what is hindered by the infighting we cannot do. The other issue that the committee directed us to do is to ensure that we support the community so that they utilize the land and the other agricultural land for profitability. What we did here, we have an engagement with SAPI. SAPI, they are one of the leaders in forestry. So they have a program called Kulisa that they are implementing. So we have engaged with them so that they also take this project with them as they implement. However, with this infighting, they are not able to move forward. And the issue of cutting these properties, this timber into family plots, they indicated that it will not work. It will work as a holistic. So we'll need a mediator for those reasons so that the people are made to understand why we are doing what we are intending to do, because all of this is for their benefits. Otherwise, all the general plans for the whole settlement, they are approved. They are there. We are working with SPLUM to ensure that we do the actual disposal of this land. We are moving to table 4, Secretariat. Can we move to table 4? Table 4 on the action list. I'm sorry, it was the families, Dlamini, Nkosi, Nkambule, Mnisi, Mkwenyane, and the others that are on the land where there was a dispute with Mr. Kanyile, who is the owner of the land where they have claimed the labor tenancy. The progress is that currently we have issued new Section 17 notices to Mr. Kanyile. We served him. He was open to negotiate. We engaged in those negotiations, and he offered 2 parcels of land as a form of settling this labor tenant application. We presented these properties it's about 2 properties that he was offering to the department for us to purchase for the families. About 612, one of them was 612 hectares, the other one 1,354 hectares. Both farms were rejected by the families, citing that it is mountainous and it is not conducive for farming. So we are now in that cul-de-sac wherein we have worked with Professor Lavin on this matter. Now we are moving to the process of appointing them a mediator so that we can mediate on this thing, because that's the requirement. Before we refer to court, we must prove that we have mediated matters adequately and we cannot get a resolve. So that is where we are regarding the labor tenants application on this. On this matter, there was also a matter of Mr. Mkwanazi, who had indicated that he was evicted by Mr. Kanyile from the farm, and we referred this matter to LASA. This matter is currently being dealt by LASA. All the issues that Mr. Kanyile indicated, including the livestock that were impounded. So LASA is dealing with this matter all these matters that are around the violation of Mr. Mkwanazi, both eviction and also the livestock. We are moving to table number 5. Table number 5 is an intervention plan for the Nkambule family. The Nkambule family issue was spoken about in the last meeting. We have been requested to submit a detailed report, which we have sent. It's outside this submission. However, I will then indicate that in this matter of the Nkambule family, we have a problem wherein the panelist or the attorney that was appointed by LASA to represent the family has been withdrawn due to budgetary constraint in the legal aid of South Africa. So now there is an advocate who is an official of LASA who is leading this case. And there is a problem in that the gentleman, Mr. Nkambule, does not have faith in this process now that this has happened. And we are trying to make them understand, because this matter is waiting a court date. It is enrolled in court. There is nothing that we can do outside where it is now. The matter is in court. However, regarding the issues of the abuse, from where we are sitting, we had received information that the violations or the abuse has ceased in a way. However, we have taken that from them. We don't know the reality of it, because that is what they've indicated. And the one other development, there is a family a family issue that is very deep in that family that is surfacing now, which I don't think it is proper for us to put it here in this meeting. But there is issues. The mother, who is the main applicant, because we must remember that the applicants are two. There is the older brother of Mr. Nkambule who has passed on, and the mother. We're dealing with these two applications here. But now the mother has moved from the farm she is staying in the township, because of those family feuds that are very, very sensitive and very serious. We are waiting for the court date, otherwise for a decision of the court regarding this application. Thank you very much. We are moving to table number 6 on the action plan. Thank you. Table number 6 is the Hadebe family. The family, one issue was that the family needs the disposal of the land. We have done the work. We are ready with the disposal memorandum to dispose the property to the family. What we were engaging was to determine how they will want the disposal to happen. So we are ready with the disposal memorandum for the family. It was done in November already. The damaged house that was there when the committee visited, it has been fixed. We engaged with the company that built the houses. They came and fixed the property for us. We did the assessment that were required even in the previous meeting. We know with working with the rural development, the estimated cost of working, the things that they identified need to be fixed. That was the water, that was the fence. We are looking at requesting additional money so that we can start working on that project. So there is work in progress in the Hadebe family matter. We are moving to table number 7. Table number 7 is the intervention plan on the Donald Farmer Production Support Unit. As my colleagues has indicated, my colleague Mr. Mdawen has indicated, this function has moved together with the colleagues that were working on the support to these farmers. So the assessment on the needs of these farmers and all the building of the shed for the tractors. This function has moved to the Department of Agriculture. That is what we are indicating here. I'm moving to table number 8. An action plan on farm rate spread. It is the farm where there is the Kwabe pig farming, the farmers that were supported through LDS. And however, the committee, whilst they were doing oversight, there was families that came and indicated that they are also occupiers in the property. We acknowledge that we know the farm, we know the farm dwellers. We have done a land rights inquiry on all the farm dwellers. The Surveyor General has been engaged. We are going to subdivide the portions where the farm dwellers are so that we can dispose those portions to the farm dwellers. That is where we are in terms of the action plan. We are working on all these issues until they come to an end. I am moving now to the issues that I indicated that out of the action list, we only have focused on the issues that are of the PSSC. That will be 6.6, where CPA have failed to hold AGMs, institute a litigation to safeguard the assets of the community to avoid any illegality and misuse of community resources to ensure that there are free and fair election, and a new executive committee without delays appointed. All matters related to membership verification must be concluded before AGM. We are trying here to display committee members that we are trying all this mechanism with Mawewe. We are indicating that we tried to apply for this. This is not the first CPA that we tried to approach court to safeguard the asset by closing the bank account. We tried that in Malamala. Mawewe was the second one. We failed. We failed to achieve that. And however, all these matters that we are dealing with will have challenges, because for every case we are reflecting with Mawewe that whilst you are attending to one issue, then there will be an issue that is coming out, like now the agent application that was filed in court that is wanting to elect members that are not CPA members to form part of the executive committee. So we are trying to indicate that the application to place CPAs under administration, they take longer. You have to file and wait for a court date, and in many instances, such does not come. And in our instance for the CPAs that we are talking about, whether it's Mawewe or Matsam, you will always have counter claims or counter lodgement of application in court. So we will be waiting for the court then to give us the decision. I think that decision we are anticipating will make us then have a benchmark on how we're going to deal with all the other cases. As I indicated, we are seeing a pattern here that everyone runs to court with an order to request that specific or certain individuals are appointed as members. The second one, recommendation, which is which we are dealing with is the fast tracking. That will be 6.7 that I dealt with. I don't know whether I must repeat the fast track, the transfer of land and issuing of title deeds to Jablane Village CPA and all other CPAs whose land is held by the department. The department should consider the need for preparatory work for CPA to hold and manage their land according to adopted constitution. We are trying to show, in our case, it's only Jablane where we have bought land and registered it in the name of the state, and we are trying to transfer it. We have replicated what we said in the report, that the plans are there, they are approved by the Surveyor General. It's only us now dealing with the issues of the infighting and making sure that the community understand that everything that we are doing in terms of the land holding and how the communal land holding for the land that is for business needs to be administered. We will mediate this issue, and then as soon as the community understand what it means to hold land in title, both individual and also communal, we will then move quickly with the transfer of the land to them to hold it so that it is safe from any form of abuse from external forces. We are moving now. I am dealing with a recommendation. The recommendation 6.12. Consider developing mechanism to track properties that are on the market in the region to ensure that those that are under claim can be purchased, especially for labor tenants. We have tried, without explaining much, to show the committee that we are implementing this decision. We are indicating progress that we have attained since our engagement, that we have bought 4 farms which are benefiting 6 households. It's in Mpumalanga. You'll find the farm dwellers and labor tenants. Sometimes they will be coexisting. Where there is a claim, you will find that they are farm dwellers. So we have bought 4 farms that is benefiting this 6 household, and we have other farms that are currently sitting at conveyancing that we are also purchasing. But our key challenge here is that our offers are rejected in numbers, and sometimes it becomes very difficult for us to negotiate even further. We go back, and sometimes when they reject the offer, we go back to OVG to relook at the offer, and sometimes we do not win. We are also showing here that we are also having 8 disposals of the state land to the farm dwellers and labor tenants that are at conveyancing, and we have also facilitated 2 donations from a willing donator that is coming free of charge. So we are working tirelessly to ensure that the land tenure of farm dwellers and labor tenants is upgraded. I am moving now to the 6.17, resolve labor tenants and farm dweller rights issue prior to allocation of land to lessees, including the facilitation of the relationship between farm dwellers and labor tenants with the caretakers. What we have done to resolve this matter, because in Mpumalanga we have these 2 groups, farm dwellers and farmer on the same farm. What we have done to facilitate the speedy resolving of these conflicts, we have created or appointed a panel of surveyors that are currently being allocated projects so that we can demarcate the land rights area for the farm dwellers and labor tenants to create clear boundaries. And we are moving with speed to table such to NLAC that they be disposed and such that the relationship is managed by clear borders, not just talking, because we have been engaging in continuous engagement to try for them to live in peace. It's not happening. So now we are moving with speed. It's a program, a project that we are running. I am overseeing that project such that we are able to subdivide and ensure that all these properties are subdivided and disposed, that which needs to be disposed, and a proper lease agreement that is excluding those actors that have are encumbered by farm dwellers and labor tenants removed from that. I am now moving to the 6.8, which is where it is dealing with the FPSU, where FPSU small farmers have demonstrated a commitment to farming. We need to acquire additional land and provide support for them to become middle and large farmers and commercial farmers. We have also indicated here that we are this function of FPSU has been moved with the colleagues to DOA. However, we are working with all the farmers, and with what Minister has proposed, that we consider subdividing big farms such that we allocate also to emerging farmers. We are also looking at that. We are doing that already in Mpumalanga even before that policy is out. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you.
DG.
Yeah, thank you. That's the full presentation. Both presentations are now served. Thank you, Chair. We'll take your guidance now.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, DG. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. This has been a breath of fresh air to actually listen to such comprehensive presentations. Thank you so much. Without any further ado, I will actually allow honorable members to make comments and also ask clarity-seeking questions. I am disadvantaged in that I cannot actually see hands on my screen here, but I will be actually assisted by the secretary of the committee to identify hands and actually relay that to me. Thank you.
Chairperson, Honorable
yes.
Mahlatsi and Honorable Adams.
That's Honorable Dr. Mahlatsi. Honorable Adams.
Honorable Mtama.
Honorable Mtama. Yes.
Can you also allow note to my hand, Chair?
Honorable Matthias. Honorable
Mtetwa. Honorable Mkhaga.
Honorable Mkhaga.
I think the last hand would be
Honorable Maseko.
Maseko.
Okay. Honorable Nana, is he not on the platform?
Chairperson, Honorable Nana has problems with his gadget, but you can put him on the waiting list, Chair. I know we would want to have a bite, Chair. Thank you.
He will most probably be in the Eastern Cape. Okay, can we start off with Honorable Dr. Mahlatsi?
Thank you, Chairperson. Greetings to the ministers, greetings to the officials, the colleagues. Firstly, let me thank the two presenters, but for now, I'll focus on the first presentation. On the report, some of the gaps that I saw, but maybe they can clarify it. The report does not include terms of reference of inquiry, the cost of inquiry, expected completion date, and reporting schedule to Parliament. Now, my first question on that one is, can the ministry provide the terms of reference, budget, expected completion date, and reporting framework of the Senior Council inquiry, and explain why critical recommendations have been postponed pending its outcome? And then on the second one, I have a concern when the department merely stated that the inquiry will determine whether a forensic investigation is necessary. This effectively changed the committee's recommendation. Now, there is no forensic investigation that has commenced, no asset tracing has begun, no financial recovery strategy exists, and no criminal referral that has been reported. Now, my second question then would be, why has the department not implemented the committee's recommendation for forensic investigation? And does the minister or ministry intend to conduct forensic audit regardless of what the inquiry's outcome? Now, on recommendations 9.8, it's 9.8, requested monitoring mechanism. The department respond by discussing draft regulation, and my concern there is regulations are not monitoring system. And the gaps that I've identified on the report is that no information on monitoring framework, compliance audits, performance indicators, and database dysfunctional CPAs. Then the question for me there will be, which is my last one, how many CPAs currently classified as functional, dysfunctional, or under administration, and what monitoring framework is being used to assess compliance? Chairperson, I submit.
Thank you, Honorable Mahlatse. The next one would be Honorable Adams.
Thank you, Chairperson. And good morning to yourself, Chairperson. Good morning to the Minister, the Deputy Minister, the officials of the department, and our staff members. Chairperson, I will start with my questions. General oversight questions of all commitments made following the portfolio committee oversight. How many have been fully implemented, partially implemented, and remain outstanding? The question is why? And does the Mpumalanga Provincial Shared Service Center have sufficient capacity and resource to deal with the growing number of CPA and labor tenant matters? And on Mawewe CPA, when does the department realistically expect a lawful AGM and election of a new executive committee to take place? On Motsamo CPA, what progress has been made regarding allegations that some beneficiaries are not South African? And Jabulani Agri Village, what is delaying the transfer of title deeds if planning and subdivision assessments have already been completed? What steps are being taken to resolve the fight that continues to delay adoption of the beneficiary list and the AGM? Why has the updated beneficiary list still not been adopted despite departmental media? and how much has the delay in resolving internal disputes affected the transfer of title deeds? And on Mkonwazi Nazi eviction matter, has the department considered compensation for losses suffered by Mr. Nkonazi? What steps have been taken to prevent similar unlawful evictions? Nkombula family, why has Parliament commitment to summon the landowner and subs not yet materialized? What action has subs take to ensure that family safety since the oversight visit? Hadebe family, what interventions will be made in additional funding is not approved during the August 26 budget adjustment? Dan Donald, FPSU, following the transfer of functions to the Department of Agriculture, what safeguards are in place to ensure projects do not stall? I'm almost done, Chair. Guabe beef farming project. How many families are expected to benefit from the proposed disposal of 299 hectares? What is the timeline for appointing the independent mediator? My last one, Chair. Disputes in Mpumalanga are currently before the courts. What is the average time taken to resolve a CPA governance? And then, Chair, the last one, department did not conduct assessment or audit CPAs or what is happening in each and every CPA. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Adams. The next one is Honorable Nkutama.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, leadership from the department, and honorable members. I just have one question, Chair, and it relates to the Mpumalanga family, which we visited, and where the farmers there were intimidating us. Ntatu Kambule. When I spoke to him a month ago, he told me that there's been no communication with him, there's been no visible policing around him. And when we were there, we had made that commitment that more protection will be provided. So a little bit of an update around what sort of interactions are happening with the station commander. And then on the same Kambule family, can we get a sense of when this matter will be resolved? In other words, when their land claim, tenancy claim will be resolved more or less in terms of just the usual practice, where it is now and when it is envisaged to be concluded. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Nkutama. The next one would be Honorable Matthias.
Thank you so much, Honorable Chair. Greetings to honorable members, to the Minister and the Deputy Minister, and the officials of the department, and our guests, if they are guests, and the public. Look, Honorable Chair, I'll limit my questions to about 4. One is in relation with the matters relating to the Ngonyama transport. The first point would be in relation to the forensic investigation that we recommended should be undertaken, and this would be 9.4. The response we get is that the minister has appointed a senior counsel to investigate transactions, including the sale of land. Would want to know how soon can we expect the senior counsel to finalize these investigations so that we can get a full picture and extent of non-compliance by the Ngonyama Trust Board and Ngonyama Trust on a whole range of finances of the board. That would be the first point under the Ngonyama Trust Board. The second point is in relation with the matter of CASEC, which it was a court order. To avoid the department going back and forth on this matter, what policy and legislative interventions are envisaged in order to solve or resolve the pending matters between the residents and the Ngonyama Trust Board, in order to give residents a secure tenure away from the current tenure system of PTOs. What policy and legislative interventions have been envisaged? Please let us not be referred to existing acts that are not helping us. And if we're to invoke the existence of existing acts, it will just be a waste of time. We will not be sitting with this matter of CASEC. If existing acts, existing legislation is anything to write home about. Let me shift to CPAs, if you permit me, Honorable Chair. On CPAs, I'll deal with the matter of it's a CPA where I think it's Zwalabantu Dube. The chair will remind me of the Qebekulu. Is that right, Honorable Chair? Of Nkosi Qebekulu.
Yes, the Qebekulu CPA is different from the Zwalabantu.
Okay, I wanna talk to that one. I don't see it here in the report.
Okay.
I don't see it on the report, and I would want to know why has it been omitted? Because omitting it, unless if it's somewhere here, and because I'm wearing medically prescribed spectacles, I'm unable to see it. But if it's omitted, I would want to know why it's omitted, because I want to comment on it. And if it's included here, Dr. Manenze will help me to locate it in the report, and I'll come back later once I've been able to locate it. Lastly, it's on the Matsau CPA. The Matsau CPA is bedeviled with internal feuds, conflicts, and all sorts of administrative problems. And when we're in Mpumalanga, allegations were made that some amongst officials and former ministers, their hands were greased with the financial benefits from the CPA. And the report says they've been going forth and back about attempts to mediate in the conflicts there. And the report says in one meeting which was convened, only 5 people came, 3 from the concerned group and 1 from the CPA. If the CPA with its current constitution or composition fail to honor meetings that are called by the department, my question is, do we still have the executive committee of such a CPA? And there are allegations that some members of the executive committee of the CPA phoned others, including beneficiaries, not to come to the meeting. I want to repeat, do we have a CPA properly constituted with the executive committee under these circumstances? I will recommend, Honorable Chair, that the department must be firm and decisive. 1, dissolve the executive committee of the CPA of Matsamo and place that CPA under administration. Whilst it is finalizing the list of beneficiaries and ensure that a properly constituted meeting of the CPA, the annual general meeting of the CPA, is convened under the stewardship of the department, and ensure that we restore order in that CPA of Matsamo. Thanks so much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Mtatwa. Honorable Mtatwa. If he's not on the platform, then Honorable Mkhakha. Honorable Mkhakha. Well, the 2 of them have disappeared. Can I get the responses from the department?
Chairperson, my hand is
Yeah.
up.
Oh, Honorable Van Wyk, you're not on the list.
I'm sorry, Chairperson.
Okay.
Can I have a bite?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Chairperson. Greetings to the Minister and the DM, the DG, all the officials on the platform, and all the honorable members. And I also want to thank the officials for the comprehensive report which they have given us. Chairperson, I will be very short and sweet. Last year, I think it was on the 26th July, this committee has taken a resolution. When it comes to CPAs, we have said that the time has come for us to be present when it comes to elections of CPAs. At least 2 representatives from the committee must be deployed to go and oversee that elections. And we must also communicate with the IAC so the IAC can conduct that elections of any CPA, because each and every time there's always complaints about the CPAs in all provinces. So, Chairperson, if the CPA can be dissolved like Honorable Mates have proposed, we must just remember that we have taken a resolution last year, because we have, I think, about 2 other CPAs who have also held AGMs on their own, while their time of office has expired last year already. So we must just implement our own resolutions that we have taken. And we were very strong, opinionated about it on the 26th of July last year, if I'm correct for the date, Chair. So yeah, Chair, that's what I wanted to raise. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Van Beek. As Honorable Mkhaha or Honorable Mteto are back on the platform.
I also wonder if okay, that would point for.
Is that Honorable Matthias? Honorable members, they seem to be having challenges of network. Can I? The department, DG. Oh, what has happened now?
No, Chair, I'm
Everyone
here.
Everyone has just disappeared. Okay, Honorable Mr. Heinemann.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I see the minister maybe wanted to say something. I'm not sure.
No, DG. I was trying to locate all of you guys.
Yeah.
No,
I was trying to locate all of you. I felt it's me and the chain on the platform now. How happy you are.
No, we are all in minister's corner.
Oh, yeah, Minister.
Thank you, TM. Thank you, TM.
Yeah,
Thank you. Over to you, DG, and the officials, and respond to the honorable members.
Chair, I think before we start, I see the Deputy Registrar has got his hand up, and I would like him maybe to talk in general to firstly the CPA matters at a national level about capacity, about the challenges that they're receiving in court, etc. And then based on that, we've got the questions will be answered directly as relating to each province. Mr. Mdaweni, Ms. Zanele Sislangu, and if DDG Letompa wants to come in, we have the questions and we will then answer them one by one. Thank you. Is that fine if the Mr. Mokhaswa goes ahead, Chair?
Yes. DG.
Good morning, Honorable Chair, Honorable members, Honorable Minister and Deputy Minister and the leadership of the department. I would like to respond to a few questions. The first one, I think I'll talk in general terms regarding the time that matter takes for finalization in a normal court process. Looking at the numerous matters that we have, the process of resolving CPA disputes to a large extent in litigious CPAs get hampered by the court processes. Once a matter is taken to court, that essentially ties the hands of the officials, and unless clarity is given in terms of the particular issue that is being ventilated before court, you'll find that there are challenges with
you can breakfast.
Honorable Adams, can you mute, please?
So giving a direct answer as to what the average time, what is the average time for a matter to be concluded in the normal court process? For ordinary matters, they take anywhere between 2 and 3 years, depending on the number of interlocutory issues that get raised and have to be adjudicated upon in the lead up to the finalization of the actual matter. Now, because of that, we then find ourselves in a situation where we then find ourselves in a situation where if a matter also involves us or we're cited as party to that particular matter. And the matter is before court. In most instances, you then have a challenge of having to proceed with your normal activities whilst a matter is in court, because then that appears like you are trying to help yourself to achieve a certain end while the matter is still being ventilated. So in most instances, that's why you'll find that we allow that court process to settle the issue and then proceed with the things that we wanted to do. Now, there was the issue around Matsamo CPA. I just want to indicate to the portfolio committee and the honorable members that there has been some intervention from our office with regard to Matsamo, where we have engaged with the CPA, and our engagements with them have been fairly, I would say, successful, in the sense that we got them to understand the seriousness of resolving this particular issues around this particular CPA. The issues around membership, in our engagements with the committee, they indicated that they did undergo the verification process. But what we then advise is that in order to eliminate these various conflicts around the issue of membership, we need them to submit the package of documents that they had used during the verification process in the form of the invitation that will prove that adequate notice was given. The report on the verification itself, indicating the names of the people that have been verified, those that have been accepted, and those that have been rejected. And for those that have been rejected, we also requested an indication of the reasons why the elders committee of the verification committee rejected their application, so that we have a record of each and every member that has, so that we have an indication of each and every member that has presented themselves for verification, so that even in future we are able to have comprehensive information should a similar issue arise. Because in certain instances, someone will say they are refusing to verify us, whereas they could not pass that verification process. And if we have such a record, we're able to cross-check any future complaints against the record. And what we requested the CPA committee to do was that they should take that record of verification and submit it to our colleagues in the restitution office in Mpumalanga for them to go through it and satisfy themselves that everything has been done in accordance with the Restitution Act in determining that people do qualify or people do not qualify. And after that, then the CPA can go for elections. And the date that has been agreed to as the date for the elections was the 20th of June, which is in about a week or 2 weeks' time from now. And the constitution that has been worked on, there was a meeting that took place on the 29th of May to adopt the amendments. So what is then left with regard to Matsamo is for the committee to then hand over that package of documents to the commission, and the commission to satisfy themselves that everything was done according to the book, and then we will be ready to go for the elections on the 20th. And that, I think, in a way also touches on what was raised by Honorable Matthias regarding the need to dissolve the committee and get an interim committee in place pending the finalization of the membership list. Should it be clear and apparent that the commission, the restitution office is satisfied with the way the verification process has been undertaken, I think, Honorable Matthias, we will then be in a position to proceed for elections. Maybe even we're discounting the possibility of dissolving that committee. I don't know, maybe it will be guided by the committee in terms of the stance, if that stance should still be taken, or if the committee can reconsider in light of the information that I just provided. Then with regards to the issue of the conducting of the election.
I should have indicated that each province is going to get 10 minutes to respond to the questions.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. Can I just touch on the issue of the elections? I think it will be very beneficial for the members of the portfolio committee to attend one or two of these meetings so that they can see the type of environment that we operate in. In processing these CPA elections, that in certain instances, even after the process has been run in a fair manner, the losing party always try to find a reason to challenge the elections because there is just that scramble for power that is very prevalent within CPAs. So I think it will be very helpful if members of the portfolio committee can also attend some of these CPA elections, and maybe because the date has been set for Matsamo, I would also maybe just extend the invitation that if everything is in order, maybe the members can join. Maybe.
Excuse me, honorable members, may I please ask each one of us to please ensure that we are muted so that we can allow the response by the department. There are disturbing noises that are actually coming in the background. Can we please ensure that we are muted? Thank you.
Thanks, Chair. The date for Matsamo has been set as the 20th of June. Maybe I think if it is proper, I can extend an invitation to say those members that will be able to attend that meeting on the 20th, we will confirm if all the necessary documents have been received and where the screening has, whether the screening has gone well for us to then proceed on the date so that the members can be able to attend and just observe the environment and the processes as they unfold for their benefit, and also for them to be able to make further recommendations in terms of how we can improve our systems and how future processes can be undertaken. I think with regard to the questions that
Yes, mute.
Maybe can I just pause then allow the other colleagues to come in on other points that are specific to the respective provinces. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Next up, I'm going to give the KZN province, Mr. Mdaweni, an opportunity to answer a few that were specifically related to him. And thereafter, we will take again Mpumalanga province to answer the questions that were specifically related there.
We've installed the wrong app there by default. Let us go there.
Thank you.
You say you can put the other Wi-Fi.
Yes.
But the Wi-Fi is from around the corner, eh?
Yes.
It's not still, they've installed it at the same place.
Member Matias, just mute yourself, please.
Thank you, Chair, and honorable members, Minister, Captain TG. I think for KZN, there was basically, well, one question I can respond to that is specific to the, it's actually called UBIS or CPA. We have not said anything on UBIS or CPA because there were no recommendations from the committee on the CPA. If I look at the actual portfolio committee report, the issues that they raised with the committee were issues that related to water and belong to the Department of Water and Sanitation. Then there were a couple of questions around issues of the ITB. I think there was a request for the terms of reference, cost, expected completion time and framework. I do believe that the ministry will provide that in writing to the committee. Yeah, I think those are the ones I can respond to, Chair. I'm trying to see. Then there's the issue of the forensic. Sorry, Chair. There's the issue of the forensic investigation. The response there is that the exercise that the senior counsel is doing will provide the department with a basis and probably the parameters of a forensic investigation on what are the specific issues that must be probed. So that is why we have said that we will wait for that report, which the completion date will be provided in writing to ministry. I'm sure other colleagues would want to add, especially on the policy related issues. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thank you, Chair. Now, Nanga, thank you.
Can I come through, Acting DG?
Please. Yes, please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson, and thank you for the questions. I will start with I think my questions were mainly from Honorable Adams. The first question was asking of all the commitments, how many were implemented and not implemented. Maybe I must be hasty to indicate that the action plan had a set of activities that were meaning to achieve for example, regularization of a CPA. So when you read the action plan, you will see that many of the activities have been done. What remains is the big elephant in the room, which is the actual regularization of the CPA, which we have responded. However, we can be able to mark all those activities that are done in green so that it shows that there is progress towards the ultimate. In all of the projects that were visited, because the problems that we're dealing with are having the basic foundational problems, and then we're dealing with the tentacles, and then we'll finally then deal with the
What
bigger
about
problem.
the fact that is sending you two different things?
Am I
I don't know.
protected, Honorable Chairperson?
I'm trying to. There is a Dumsani somewhere. I don't know who that one is. But please, can we get muted, all of us, please, on this platform, except for Ms. Sihlangu?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. I'm done with the first question. The second one, does the Mpumalanga Provincial Shared Service Center have sufficient capacity to deal with all the challenges? The last slide in my presentation that I didn't go through was a cry that indicates that we are very, very thin as a province. I'm not comparing, however, we have I think the second largest portfolio in terms of CPAs. We are the second also in labor tenants together with KZN. So the people that I rely on handling these issues, every day I have to engage in a counseling session, to persuade us to push. We are very thin, very, very thin on the ground. With labor tenants, we currently working, implementing through contracts. They are on their 6th month now. We are writing a memo to request another contract, because until the realignment exercise is done, I think this is where we will be. But we are trying, and the team is willing at all times to intervene. We don't have capacity. The third question is, Mawewe CPA, when are you expecting to have a lawful AGM? In my presentation, I indicated that we had an urgent application from the consent group that was heard yesterday in court, in the High Court here. We were there, we were present, our legal officer represented us. What happened is that the prayers that the consent group were having was, one, they had identified individuals that they want the court to appoint as administrators. When we argued our matter that it is not in line with the CPA Act, when we break for break, they decided to drop that prayer. They have dropped that prayer. That's why we are confident that the judgment will be in our favor, because immediately they drop that, and then it is a showcase that then the judge, when he sends the judgment, he will then assign the responsibility to us to ensure that we have an interim structure established and dissolving what is there. We have that confidence, because there's nothing else that will hinder the judge from judging according to the CPA Act. So immediately that happens, it's going to be very easy, because that is what we wanted, even with all the things that has been happening, including the agreement that they had between the consent group and the executive committee. Our aim was that we're going to push to finalize verification, then we go to an AGM quickly and swiftly, because that is what is standing between this CPA and being compliant and also regularized. So we are waiting, and then in our next update, we will be updating what then the court indicated. And then in Matsamo, there is a question that says that some of the members were alleged to be non-South African. I indicated in my presentation that the CPA has, working with the Office of the Registrar, has indicated they have finalized the verification, and that verification has been adopted by the membership. And we cannot say anything from where we are sitting if the members have RSA identity document, and then they are verified, and then the membership of the CPA accept them as members. So we are going to work on the verification list, which is building up on the list that is sitting with restitution. So those documents is what is with the Office of the Registrar of CPA. They are busy scrutinizing all those documents so that we are ready for the CPA to sit on the 20th of June. That is Matsam. Under Tabulani, the question was, what is delaying the transfer of the land? I indicated, honorable members, that in Tabulani, we have the general plan that is approved. Maybe I should be swift and indicate what form of a settlement we're envisaging there. There is settlement where individuals have houses there. And then there's amenities that are there, that they are shared by the community. Then there is the enterprise land where the forestry is, and a huge dam. So what we are looking to do is to subdivide those, is to register those sites in the name of the households. And then we register the whole property in the CPA, a form of what is happening in estates. That's what we want to do. And for us, the delay is we need these people to understand what we are meaning to do. We cannot just do it without them understanding, because there will be responsibilities that are assigned with such a land holding entity, and they will be expected to fulfill certain laws that are aligned with the municipalities' bylaws. So it's not an easy process. If the property was supposed to just move as it is into the name of the CPA, it was going to be very easy. I don't think we would be speaking about it now. It would have long been transferred, but we're dealing with a very complicated kind of a land holding here that we need to be very serious. We have indicated that we bringing in a mediator there. Maybe I should mention that we are busy. We are finalizing the appointment of mediators. The committee is sitting today, and we have planned that if everything goes well, the committee that adjudicates over this thing, if they finish today, can sit in the next 10 days, so that we look at this, and if we get them compliant, the reports they are sending, we can then appoint. We can then start allocating, because we have many matters that need mediation. We are using SCM to seek for mediators, but we are not succeeding through the CSD. We have many cases that the court has ruled that a mediator must be appointed. So as soon as we have this panel, I think our work will be very easy. On all the cases that I mentioned requires mediators. Why is the beneficiary list not opted? We indicated that we need to mediate this in fightings, because a meeting can only sit when people are at peace, and then we have to read the list. They have to accept that this and this person is our people and they belong here, and we want to move on with them as a CPA. So that process is delayed, and we are mediating, and we indicate that we will bring a mediator in that. And then is the Mkwanazi matter. Honorable member, you ask what will the Mr. Mkwanazi be compensated on the loss of his livestock that were impounded. This matter I indicated is sitting before LASA with the Legal Aid South Africa. And they will determine all the issues that a violation are listed there. So they will determine, according to the law, what claims they are going to have. And we don't have a control over that process, except for briefing and giving information where they require us to give. I'm moving to the Nkambule issue. The Nkambule issue, I think, Honorable Member, this one was not directed to us on the bringing of the landowner to the portfolio committee. But what I remember is that when we came the first time, we came with the provincial commissioner, the acting provincial commissioner there in Parliament, if I'm not mistaken. It's a provincial commissioner. Yes, we came there and the committee interacted with them. And maybe to mention that the report that we have, because we continually are checking, we are not silent, because we talk to the family to check if there is any harassment. In April, the last report I got was that there has been peace since. The landowner has not done anything to violate them. And I also mentioned that the mother, the applicant, because we have a main applicant, which is the mother, who has since left the homestead because there are family feuds there that are very serious. So maybe what I need to mention is that there was another question whilst I'm here, that Mr. Nkambule is not receiving information. What happened protocol is that the lawyers will only speak with the applicant. The problem here is that now there is this conflict between the mother and the son, and now they can't talk to him. It's us who talk to him because we understand that he is a beneficiary. So that is the problem that is there. And then on the Hadebe family, what will happen if additional funding is not gotten in the adjustment? We are busy. If we don't get, we are busy with two processes. We have kickstarted the process of the MTF for the next 3 years. So what we are doing is to put this project also as part of our bid for the next MTF, whilst again we will not miss the opportunity to go and request for an adjustment in August when that process opens for this because we are ready to implement in this project for them. It's the fence that was outstanding because they said the fence that we have put is not helping them because the goats are escaping from there. And then the issue of the transfer of function to Department of Agriculture, I think DG is here. He will talk to it. And then on the Kwabe families, the Kwabe beef farming, where there are farm dwellers and labor tenants on the farm, we are dealing with two groups here. And our land rights is meaning to secure their rights that they have, and that is the 299. And this 299 has already been approved by NLEC for disposal, but we could not move because of this dispute now that they are disputing. So hence we are saying we are engaging, even considering bringing a mediator. Would have transferred the 299, but because we're dealing with these two groups of farmer occupiers, then we have to mediate this dispute so that if they do not want this 299, then we can see how else do we resolve their issue and perhaps separating them. There are 10 families that we are dealing with in this claim, in this farm dweller and labor tenants that are on this farm. The disputes that are taken to court, when matters leave us to court, we are hamstrung in a way. We cannot do anything about them. We have to wait for the court to make a decision, and we have to comply in such issues when matters are there. And the department audit for CPA, I think the acting registrar has responded to that. And Honorable Ketama asked about the Nkambole family, that he has spoken to them a month ago. There's no communication. I think I indicated that the lawyers are speaking with the applicant. We are the ones that speak with Mr. Nkambole there. I explained, maybe I should not overgrace there. And the issue of visible policing, I don't think it's directed at us. When will the land claim be resolved? You asked, Honorable Nketama, and concluded. I indicated that we are waiting for a court date. The papers were lodged. We have done the whole process of labor tenant settlements here. And you remember last when we came, we had indicated that the offer, when we served the landowner with Section 17, the second time he was willing to negotiate this. The special master was there, and he just gave us a ridiculous offer to say, I've seen an offer for land being sold by a private landowner, go buy it for them. So we have passed that. There's nothing that he's offering. And then we have tried mediation. Now the matter is in court. So we will have to wait for the matter to be enrolled so that it can be argued and a decision taken on the matter. And then Honorable Matthias, you commented on Matsamo CPA and the conflicts and the alleged corruption that is there. And I think these matters, the matters of bribe, I think it's matters that needs investigation. In a way, I may not be able to respond to that because I have never received anything as an official here that is alleging officials in this office by name. So it's things that are being said. I heard them myself, but there's nothing that we can do about them at this pointing moment. On Matsamo, Honorable Matthias, the acting registrar indicated now that there is a move towards having an AGM on the 20th because they have concluded all the steps that are required for a CPA to go into an AGM. The registrar is currently looking at all those documents. So we cannot now decide on dissolving or placing under administration until this process is exhausted on the 20th of June when they go for an election in Matsamo. And we've been in court, I indicated, I think 2 months ago or 3 months ago, we've been in court. The matter of the consent group was struck off the roll with cost, and we were ordered to go back and assist the CPA to go for an election. And I think that is what we are trying to do now. And the acting registrar is leading us in this matter. And I think the last one by Honorable Van Wyk was responded to by welcoming the presence of the portfolio committee member in the election that we are planning to have now recently in the 20th. And I thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Well, thank you, Mpumalanga. DG.
Thank you, Chair.
I hope you have exhausted. Unless the minister also would like to make an input in response to what the members have actually asked.
No, Honorable Chair, I'm fine. I'm happy with the response, but also the DM is on the platform if he has something to say. Otherwise, on my side, I'm fine.
Chair, can I have a follow-up, please?
Okay, Honorable Maseko.
Thank you very much. Chair, I heard when we were getting the responses, and one of the officials, I'm sorry if I can't remember the name, was talking about the issue of the water, that it's not they are not responsible, it's not their mandate. Now I'm asking myself, when the department says the rural development, what do they mean? Because to me it has to do with the infrastructure. And if you're going to give people the land parcel for agriculture, surely responsibility, a certain percent of water is yours, whether you assisting them or you working with the other departments, because the Department of Land Reform cannot work in the silos. Why would we get a response from the official that no, it's not our mandate? The same applies with the security, that they say no, it's not our mandate, because what the portfolio committee is saying is that they highlight the issues that they are seeing, and the department itself have to say, at least we engaged with the police or we engaged with the Department of Water and Sanitation, and what they promised to do is to look into this, and by when, but not they get the report of no, it's not our mandate, it's not our mandate. So what is the mandate if you are saying that you are doing a land reform, you are doing the rural development, you are doing the restitution? If you box yourself in the meaning of the words itself, it doesn't make sense to me. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I'm not sure whether the DG would like to take that question.
Before we change them, I just wanted to get for that. So don't change the letters until I've got that list from.
The DG.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think firstly, we've been through this, the questions, I think generally well answered by all of the colleagues. I think the last question obviously raises the concern about where does your mandate stop and where does your mandate start in the department. And I think as we again start with a realignment process, we need to consider the fact that the department of this, the mandate of this department is obviously land reform or land and rural development. And within those, there are other key departments that would make use of this land. For instance, agriculture. For agricultural purposes, they would, for instance, want to use the land for farmers. We also have many beneficiaries in the land environment that we have leases with, and we have to look after those clients. On the other side, on rural development, We have, as a department, gone through this transformation by land affairs. Then we were, for a long time, we were rural development and land reform, and then we were agriculture, land reform, and rural development, and now we stand with land reform and rural development. So it's again about the mandate and what has been started in the past, and obviously where the citizens of the country see us as still being held responsible and liable for what we did, let's say in 2011. For instance, the Jabulani village, the solar panels that were then put on. Those solar panels have been in place for a number of years, and obviously there is wear and tear on everything that the state provides. And the question is then, yes, because we've worked very closely with that village under the CRDP program, I believe, in the early days, and the CRDP program is still functional. We continue to support these communities. I think as we move forward, one of the key points will be that rural development would have to become, again, targeted. As you know, the rural spaces are large in the country. The municipalities cover these spaces wall to wall with their IDPs and their spatial development frameworks, and they all allocate funding from the fiscus to certain areas. However, there remains these pockets of poverty where livelihoods remain very, very difficult to achieve. And we've seen with the CRDP program that this was one way that made rural development very effective, is by targeting specific pockets of poverty. For instance, we used the war on poverty data that came out of the presidency at the time. We used the most vulnerable wards where poverty was the highest, where unemployment was the highest, and we analyzed those wards, and then we created pockets of intervention as a department or as the rural development branch. And this gave us a very good sense of what we agreed to at a national level, at a provincial level, at a district level, and at a local level, because everybody knew where we were intervening. Now, I think this program, Chair, has left us a legacy of projects, and I think the department would be in a poor position if in these rural development and CRDP areas that we have done, and maybe future ones, we were to just walk away. So I think I really got a masterclass in the management of a province by CD Sislangu this morning. I think the way that she approaches the development of that area is commendable. And the way that she's able to articulate every single matter on every single item. The same with CD Mdaweni. So Chair, for me, it's critical that the mandate of the department is clarified, and we are working full steam at the moment with the ministry, with the DDGs, and with the CDs, the directors. We also have appointed a firm to assist us in this, and we are confident that September, October, we will be ready with a realigned mandate, focusing on core areas of the department, and possibly being very clear on how we will interact with human settlements in spatial transformation, and housing, how we will interact with agriculture on access to land and beneficiary selection, how we will work with a number of the other departments, where it becomes really important for us to look at land as a Section 25 property clause, and where we look at rural development and how we implement it, because there will always be coordination in the rural development side, and we will continue to do that through the integrated rural development sector strategy. But internally, on the ground with the clients, I think the CRDP, which is also approved by Cabinet, is key to unlocking these intervention areas where we have really affect livelihoods. And when we go to the three areas of the GNU, we remember that we're looking at reducing unemployment, we're looking at poverty and livelihoods, and then we're looking at building a capable state. Chair, also then further to the realignment will hopefully come up with innovative ways to better realign also the staff. Remember, I don't think that we will obviously build a structure that suits a new, reformed, realigned, and reimagined department. But what's going to be critical here is that we know that the fiscus is tight and that new positions, a new COE for positions will be hard to achieve. So we're going to have to look at the training, the relearning, and the redeployment of current staff into this environment. Also looking at what the impact is of technological advancements that we currently have. I do think that...
Sorry, DG. Chair, if I may just interject, if you so permit.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Minister. I was also going to interject and ask the Director General to provide us with a comprehensive report on the progress that has been made thus far on the separation of these two departments. I think we would appreciate that kind of information that he's giving us now when he actually does that kind of a comprehensive report. Otherwise, Honorable Maseko was actually asking a question in relation to the issues that were raised. For instance, the issue of security, where the Chief Director of Mpumalanga said it's a matter, it's the matter that falls outside of the scope of their mandate. I think she was asking in that particular context.
That's exactly why.
My apologies, Chair. I think maybe the acting DG didn't understand, because their vision and their mission talk about mission is facilitating and their vision is the economic growth. So I'm asking, based on what they are saying, that you cannot have economic growth and then you push away responsibility of how do you facilitate you can get the water and other things. So I wanted to hear, to what an extent are they engaging to make sure that where they are doing a land reform or rural development, there is a progress working not in silo with the other departments. But I don't think he has responded to that. Maybe because surely we do understand the mandate of the department, and we doing that, we understand also the other mandates of the other departments and how can they work together. So it wasn't for more of us trying to get the understanding of the mandate of the department. It was more about the samenwerking, like we call it in Western Cape, with the other departments to make sure that you achieve your mission, you achieve your vision, or we share the vision that you have and the interpretation of what you give us as your vision. Thank you, Chair.
Well, thank you. Well, Honorable Minister, would you like to say the closing remarks, or the DM first and then the Honorable Minister?
Chairperson, my hand was up the whole time.
Okay.
Chair, I have previously raised the issues surrounding CPS. I've been raising it in each and every meeting. And I also raised the issue that there is allegations of corruption against these CPA members. And where the time of office has lapsed, but they still go to AGMs while the community is in uproar. I can mention a couple of CPAs with that matter, which have done it. But what is the office of the register doing about it? And also, our chief director from Mpumalanga, I'm sorry, I've just forgotten the name of the chief director. She is answering Honorable Matthias, and she says that she knows about corruption allegations, but there is nothing that they can do about it. So what mechanisms does the register have in place in order to address allegations of corruption? Because almost in every province where there is CPAs, most of them have allegations of corruption. The community, the voters wants to know, what are we doing about it? Please, Chairperson, if we can just have a response on that. Thank you.
Honorable Chair.
I
Honorable
was
Chair.
hoping that the minister was going to deal with all of those issues because they are not directly,
Yeah.
related to the specific questions we wanted them to report to us about. But it's a valid question. To which I think the minister will be able to respond.
Yeah.
But before yes.
I was going to ask the DM to come with his comments and close at the same time, but only on this one before I hand over to the DM of CPAs. That in fact, when Honorable Maseko was raising the issue around water and security, I wanted to come in and say we've noted the concern and we'll look at it and come back with the report. And Honorable Chair, you've done that already. I wanted to say even the issue of CPAs, hence the roadmap, hence the road show to all provinces. There's a lot against CPAs, Honorable Chair, including politicians, traditional leaders, people who are coming up with clear suggestions that let's just abolish CPAs. But this is the act of parliament. It's not easy like that. But around corruption, allegations, and so on, we will definitely do something about it once we have concrete evidence of these corruptions. For example, let me talk about two CPAs. One CPA in Limpopo, Molitile. Already, that CPA was dissolved by the registrar, acting registrar, and they appealed to us. They promised to correct everything they've complained about, and my office decided to lift that appeal, and that CPA was restored with conditions, and they did not meet all those conditions there and there, to a point that last month we had to write a letter again and agree with the deputy registrar, and also the court was also against them because they also went to court and they lost there. So the thing is, these CPAs, once these allegations emerge, they immediately run to court. So to stop everything, but I really wanted the DM to come with his remarks and close. Chair, if through you the DM can come in and close.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. The DM.
Thank you, Chair. Let me greet everybody on the platform, honorable members, the Minister, DG, and other officials. I think, Minister, you have basically sealed it off. But when I wanted to intervene or interject when the DG was responding, it was because I had realized that he's actually going very broad and covering almost everything. When Honorable Maseko only wanted to understand as to how are we implementing the Cooperative Governance Act that says we are one government. At the end of the day, when people come, they don't say we are coming to this particular department only. If a matter relates to the police, yes, we know that we're dealing with we are administering the act, and the police are enforcing. But it does not necessarily mean that if a person comes to us, we can navigate that person to the police because we are one government. At the end of the day, we must be able to say, okay, fine, when it comes to corruption, like the minister was saying, this is what we are doing. But when it comes to other allegations of criminal activities, this is what we are doing together with our sister department, SAPS. I think that's what Honorable Maseko wanted. That was At least that was my understanding. So, but I understand. I understand that the DG wanted to give you a comprehensive answer, which will be resolved by what the chairperson requested for, so that the committee can get. But all in all, I think honorable members and minister and the official DG and the officials, all the other issues that were raised were responded to adequately, and those that are still hanging, the department will then have to come back to the committee and respond to them in writing. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, for your presence. Thank you so much, Honorable DM. And thank you to the DG and his team. As I said, although the reports and presentations did not go as far far enough in terms of our expectations, but at least a very good start was made. At least we know exactly what is happening, the status of the Kambule family. We know now the status of the Matsamo, CPA and Mawewe. So we know that in that Zwelabantu CPA, things are coming together, unlike when we were there. On that day, we actually, were holding our hands because we did not know whether that lady who courageously stood up and said a lot of things was actually going to survive until now. So it's really a breath of fresh air to hear that there is some progress that is being made. I would actually commend the two provinces on that, and actually ask if there isn't actually a mechanism within the department, or at least we are going to look into it, of some kind of an interprovincial collaboration, so that there could be this sharing of experiences and ideas. I mean, we were in Limpopo. Yes, things were moving there, but they had challenges. The challenges they had there may not necessarily be the same as the challenges that are being experienced in KwaZulu-Natal and Mpumalanga. Perhaps, or there are challenges that Mpumalanga has been able to overcome. If there cannot be a mechanism for some that interprovincial collaboration and to facilitate cross-pollination of ideas, so that they learn from each other's experiences. I'm just thinking aloud, Honorable Minister and Honorable DG. On that note, thank you so much, the department. Can we move on to the next item of the agenda? The adoption of our minutes of our previous meetings.
Thank you, Chair.
I would release the minister and the DM, even the DDG, the Director General and his team, if they so wish.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Lwazi.
Chairperson, we will start with the minutes of 29 April. I'm gonna share them now, Chair.
Yes, is there any proposal for the adoption of the minutes of the 29th March?
29 April, Chair.
On the agenda, I see minutes of the 29th March 2026. Do you have that or not? Check on your
Chair,
agenda.
it's 25 March, Chair. It's 25 March.
Oh, okay. So we ignore those.
Okay. No,
Where
I was
do
moving
where
with
do we
29
start?
April 1st, Chair.
And then go back to March.
Okay, sorry, Chair, let me fly to March. Sorry.
Oh, Ben.
Okay, 25 March, any proposal for the adoption?
25 March.
Chairperson, I move for the minutes, for the adoption of the minutes of 25 March 2026. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Adams. Any seconder? Any seconder for the adoption of these minutes? Honorable members, I wonder why you're delaying yourselves. Are they still on the platform?
Honorable Van Wyk.
Second.
Yes,
Thank
they
you.
are,
Okay.
Chair, they are.
Second.
Okay, thank you. The minutes of the 29th April 2026. Any proposal for the adoption?
I move, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Adams. Honorable members, who seconds?
Chair.
Chairperson, a second.
Yes, Honorable Nana.
Chair, firstly, I need to apologize. My reception has been very bad. I've been kicked in and out of the meeting, but I tried to stay connected for as long as I could.
Yeah, no, I understood. In fact, I apologize for you in advance, that saying that I thought you must be in the Eastern Cape, because I know those areas are challenged insofar as network is concerned. Okay. But are you seconding the proposal for the adoption of the minutes on the 29th of April?
Honorable Van Wyk did, Chairman.
Oh, thank you. Or the minutes of the 13th of May 2026? Any proposal for the adoption?
Chairperson, I move for it to be adopted.
Oh,
Thank you.
Honorable Van Wyk, who is any seconder?
Let me second, Chair. I don't know where is your other members.
Honorable Adams, thank you. Minutes of the 19th of May. Any proposal for the adoption?
I move, Chairman.
Thank you, Honorable Nana. Any seconder?
I second, Chair.
Thank you. And the minutes of the 27th of May. Any proposal for the adoption?
Chair.
I move
for
for the adoption, Matlodi Maseko.
Honorable Maseko moves and Honorable Nana seconds. Thank you. The last set of minutes is that of the 3rd of June. Any proposer?
I propose the adoption, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Maseko.
I move for, I second, Chair. I second.
No, thank you, Honorable Adams. Well, that takes us to the end. I'm rushing, honorable members, because I also have a meeting, a visual meeting with the House Chairperson. Thank you so much, honorable members, for making time to be on this platform. I really appreciated that. Thank you so much also to our support staff. for making preparations for this meeting. And the meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Chair. Please remind
Thank
him
you.
of our applications overseas.
Yes, we're
Please,
talking
Chair.
about that. We will be discussing that specifically. Thank you, honorable members.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Chair, can I,
Bye-bye.
Chairperson? Chairperson. Yes, Mgil.
There's an acting chair. You can talk, Ben. CEO.
No, you can. He can phone me on the side.
Yeah, I was going to notice that I'm going to call you in the next 5 minutes, Chair.
Okay.